So, Rick, you're here at Kapow with your film Red Tails. Tell us a bit about it.
It's a very exciting film. It's a very important film for the African American community. It was a great experience for both George Lucas and I to make it, a real honor to make the film, but we had a blast making it.
And you mentioned George there. This is something that he's wanted to make for about 23 years or more, isn't it? And you've been on it about 20 years, haven't you? So has it been a real labour of love over that time?
Totally. I mean, we had Star Wars and Indiana Jones, a series in between there, but we've been working on the script for a long time, and I think we were just too ambitious 20 years ago. It was going to be 3 or 4 hours long. It was going to be a story that takes place in the United States and Europe and everything else. But once we kind of got finished episode 3, we kind of jumped on it and brought it all down into the scale that we thought we needed, and we just wanted to make a really great action film for this wonderful period in American history.
Did you know a lot about these particular airmen before George came to you and said about the story?
No, in fact, I had never even heard of them back in 1988 until George explained to me. But it's such a no-brainer if you're a producer. You have this incredible group of people who were all college educated. They at 21 were flying planes. They were the knights. They were the rock stars of their time, and it's a glorious story about them and their achievement.
And how was it for you balancing what is a really incredible true story of these airmen with obviously making a great Hollywood movie?
That's always the difficult balance, because you're looking to try and not be too heavy. You don't want to get too down on the racism and the segregation, the discrimination the guys had. But again, that's the core of the film, because that's what they overcome. I think because we had a lot of the Tuskegee Airmen with us, the last remaining guys who were still with us, they were throughout the whole process of writing the script and prep, and they were with us while we were shooting. That ensured that we never took the wrong step when we were telling their story. There was nothing that we did that wasn't true or didn't happen to someone. That was very important to us, though.
Now, you've got a great cast, haven't you, of actors in it, and they had to do boot camp, I believe, during it. What did that involve, and how did they cope with it?
It was tough for them at first. I mean, first of all, a lot of them hadn't traveled to Europe. They were in Prague. It was the middle of winter. It was 6 weeks of brutal. Everything was taken away from them. Right now in the world we live, when you take somebody's iPhone away for more than an hour, people go crazy. But they bonded really, really well together. But we did some really mean, nasty things to them. But it was it was just a miniature part. We had 3 of the original Tuskegee Airmen who were in their late 80s, early 90s with them. So, we had them under a major drill sergeant who had stopped at nothing to make their lives miserable. But it was good. It was a real taste of what, you had to be prepared for. But the bond that it created for them was fantastic.
Did you have a go at any of the tasks yourself, or were you just watching on and enjoying that?
I did light a lot of the M80s, which are like an 1/8-inch stick of dynamite, to wake them up at 3 o'clock in the morning, which was fun, because I would go out to dinner, then go to a club, and then it would be, oh my God, it's 2:30 in the morning, let's drive. And we'd drive out to this place where they were kept in tents and then light M80s. It was fantastic. I'm a producer. I'm the part of the dark side. I can't help but, no, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, though.
Let's talk a bit about the tech on the film, because you've got some great kind of aerial stunts going on, and I guess there's lots of green screen and that sort of stuff there. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it was a difficult film because we knew an hour of the film would be on the ground and an hour would be up in the air. And that hour in the air is about 1,600 visual effects shots, and each one of them lasts about 2.5 seconds each. We only had 3 planes for 3 days. That was all we could afford in terms of the insurance, the cost of setting up a complete airport that was functional. So we shot the shit out of everything for 3 days. I mean, we shot with 10 cameras, everything that we possibly could. But we had spent months and months with the director doing animatics, storyboards first and then animatics. So by the time we were ready to shoot on the green and blue screen, we knew exactly what we needed to do, and every actor got a chance to see the full sequence. We knew every place where they had to look, and it was a great experience. And we used some brand new visual effects houses because our company was already booked up. It couldn't do all of the work. It was just a great time for all of us.
So what would you think that people should expect when they go to see the film?
I think they'll learn a little bit about American history. They'll understand the unbelievable racial discrimination that these guys went through, and I think in the end of the day they'll cheer for them because they did such a fantastic job. All they wanted to do was serve their country, and then they did. And when they came back, everything was exactly the same. But it was the beginning of the civil. They helped start the beginning of the civil rights movement in the United States.